I mean, come on, would you look at that dial? I mean, this is so much watch for the money, it's not even funny. Hello, my friends, another day, another watch, another video, and today's watch is from our friends. Well, I assume they're friends. They keep sending me watches after I pay for them. Sugess. Sugess has got to be one of the current kings of value for money, affordable watches. Now, don't get me wrong. Once we get in that $250 to $350 US price point, I'm pretty sure you can't do much better than San Martin these days, right? I mean, they're doing some really, really good things. But down in that $100 range, things are a little bit different. And that's what we're talking today. $100 US? Technically, 107. I purchased this for 107 US dollars. But I mean, we're talking about $100 here for some complication, for something interesting, intriguing, for some sparkle even, for some color, for what I assume is going to be something pretty good. Let's see if my assumptions are correct. Let's open this box and take a look at this. And here we are with our Sugess. Let's get into this and see what we have waiting on the underside of this plastic lid, shall we? Those little clippies are always a little tough to undo when you got sausage fingers like these, but here we are. Okay, first things first. This is the second Sugess I've ever purchased, and this is the second time that I've been given another strap that was not advertised in the listing. So I'm not sure if this is a new-ish thing for them or a regular-ish thing for them, but this is obviously leather. You know, we got our genuine leather, quick release spring bars there. Thank you for that. And it is kind of an embossed alligator print. At this price point, we're not getting real alligator. That's fine. But actually, let me give it the sniff test. It smells like fairly low quality leather, but it's not super stiff. It's plenty bendable. So I have a feeling this will be pretty comfortable to wear. And we have a signed buckle on there. So that's nice. And it's brushed, which I assume is going to match some of the case finishing. So if you like the black look, this is a pretty decent alternate strap option. And it was a kick-in. I love free kick-ins. Who doesn't like that? So thank you, Sugess. Also, we get our little strap change / pusher tool. This is wrapped in a whole lot of plastic. So I have another one out here in case we need it. And I have a feeling we're going to. I don't want to unwrap that right now. Before we get into the watch, let's get into a little bit of paperwork. We got our warranty card. I assume it's a warranty card. Thank you for choosing. Pleasant shopping experience. I don't know if this is... Oh, yeah. So we got our warranty number right there. Don't steal my warranty number, people. Do the right thing. But if you want to scan that QR code and see what it goes to, feel free. I don't care. Have fun. And then we got some kind of instruction, booklet, operating. It's actually a nice kind of embossed booklet there. That's, I don't know, nice printing. They could have done a whole lot less and checked the boxes, but they did a little bit more, and I appreciate that. Again, if you want to have fun with QR codes, feel free. All right, let's get into the thing that we all came here for. We can probably move the box, right? Yeah, we can. We can get this thing out. Easier said than done. Toss our bubble wrap, and we have one heck of a watch, seemingly, that is covered in plastic. We can't see how glorious that dial is. And that dial is a lot of what we're here for, so let's go ahead and get this plastic off of here. As this plastic is removed, if you like these videos, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps. I don't have any memberships, and I'm still buying all these watches with my own money, so subscribe. That's the one way that you can support this channel. Well, that and through the affiliate links in the description, but we'll talk about that later. Well, that could have been easier and it could have been worse, but either way, this is what we're looking at. The Sugess, which Could use a little more anti-reflective coating. That studio light wreaks havoc on so many dials, but this one a little bit worse than others. But once we get that reflection out of the way, we can see a gorgeous, sparkly aventurine dial with a big date complication. Whoa, my ugly face. Yeah, we need more anti-reflective coating here, don't we? And a moon phase at 6 o'clock. Full-on moon phase, small seconds also at 6 o'clock. And we have the blue leather strap on this version. Again, same as the other one. Genuine leather, not going to be the best quality strap in the world. Really nice look at the movement back there. Obviously mechanical, automatic. That balance wheel running. And that actually seems that we are seeing that through another protective layer. Holy moly. So now we should be able to see it even better. Oh, yeah. Really nicely decorated movement here. So this is the Sugess ST2528. That's the only serial number I can find. So apparently they named this watch after the seagull movement that they're using here. So what do you say we do some specs?
Doobie doobie doo, it's the theme song for the specs.
This little beauty has a 41 millimeter case diameter, 49 millimeter lug to lug. The listing says 51 millimeters, but I measure this at 49. I did it 3 times just to check and check again. Case thickness is smack on 14 millimeters. It weighs in at 87 grams with a stainless steel case, a sapphire crystal with sadly no anti-reflective coating. That's the big drawback here for me. A water resistance rating of 50 meters, lug width of 21 millimeters, which is no big deal as long as you like the straps that they give you with it, right? Leather strap, I got both blue and black. Hopefully the same comes with yours. The reference number here is a ST2528 stone. I imagine that's because it's considered a stone dial to them. The movement is a Seagull ST25 with a 48-hour power reserve. I do not know what it's rated, but this movement is running at minus 16 seconds per day, giving you mechanical, automatic, true 29.5-day moon phase. It's not just an adapted date complication, and a dual wheel jumping big date complication at 12 o'clock. All right, my friends, this watch has a whole lot going on for it, but I want to get the elephant in the room out of the way first. The first thing the vast majority of people I think are going to point to with this is the case thickness. For a 41 millimeter watch, we have a 14 millimeter thickness. And at first glance, that seems kind of out of whack, a little too chunky for that, case width, so to speak. But I beg to differ. You got to pull up some comparables on this stuff. So I'm going to go to the only comparable that I know for this watch, the most reasonable comparable in the luxury watch world, is the Glashütte Original Panomatic Lunar. I know there's another company out there, Alain Gonzona, the grail of German watchmaking. They make something with a big date complication and a moon phase as well in their Lange 1. But they only make it in precious metal. They don't make it in stainless steel like this watch is. And it's a whole lot more expensive because of that. So with Glashütte Original, which, I don't know, I kind of like their watch a little bit better, actually, personally. The stainless steel case version, when I look at the measurements here, is 40 millimeters across. So it's one less millimeter across. But the more important thing is the thickness, right? And the thickness of their watch is 12.7 millimeters. 12.7 millimeters versus the 14 millimeters of this watch. This watch is $107. The Glashütte Original watch starts at $10,800 US. So for 1.3 millimeters, I'm not gonna complain too much. Okay, so from a price point perspective, I know you're dealing with a whole different world of watchmaking with that comparable, but when you're just looking at like for like, complication for complication, case size for case size, you're not doing too bad here. 14 millimeters isn't horrible. And this is a pretty interesting case. Like, this is not a boring, like horribly slab-sided case. We have some nice brushing along the sides that goes all the way down the sides of the lugs, which is nice. The lugs are nice and downturned, so that should work around your wrist quite nicely. Along with a whole lot of high polish. High polish in the bezel, high polish on the case back, high polish on the tops of the lugs. This is a classy watch. But I want to get into kind of what we came here for. I want to see these complications function. I'm a big fan of a big date. This is the first watch actually that I own with a big date complication. And I'm going to turn the crown here so we can see if we can get that date to change over so we can take a look at how that's working. Oh, yeah. That big date complication is so cool. If we go in reverse, it shouldn't reverse the date back. No, okay, good. I didn't want it to do that. To adjust the date, though, and the moon phase, we do have a couple pushers that you've already seen on these case sides. So we have the pusher down here. That pusher below the crown is on the bottom of the case. I assume that's going to be to adjust the moon phase. And then we have a pusher on the other side of the case towards the top of the watch. I assume that's going to be to adjust the date. So your quick set date will be a pusher on this. So we got our little pusher tool. So let's go ahead and see if we can adjust that quick set date using this pusher and see what happens here. Yep. Very cool. I love it. Good stuff. Nothing wrong there. And then down at the bottom, this should get our moon phase into the correct position. And this is actually a true 29.5 day moon phase. Okay, so that unexpectedly took a bit. The pusher for the moon phase did not seem to be functioning after a couple presses. Maybe I had the hands in the wrong position. I'm not sure what happened, but I wheeled the hands around the dial a couple of times to get the date to change kind of automatically with the rotation of the hands, as opposed to with the quick set. And the moon phase seemed to be moving when the date changed. And after that happened, I used the pusher to kind of cycle forward into, about as close with my eye as I could get to a full moon. Are we on full moon? Yeah, it's about as close as you're going to get to a full moon right there, isn't it? But yeah, anyways, if you have trouble adjusting the moon phase with that pusher there, then just cycle the hands around the dial a couple of times, get that date to change properly. The moon phase will change with it, and then your quick set moon phase should work just fine. The quick set date has performed flawlessly ever since we took it out of the box. So we're good there. This is just a really pretty looking watch. What are the flaws, right? What are the things I don't like about this? For me, personally, there's lots of high polish. I dress more casually, but that's a personal thing. For a watch like this, I think we're going for a bit of a classier look. It is, I don't know, I can't knock the movement. Seagull makes solid movements. And for $100, you're getting a heck of a thing here. You're getting an automatic winding mechanical watch with a small second moon phase and a big date complication. That big date doesn't just mean it's the size of the date that is big. It means that those two numbers up there are on separate wheels. So the 2 and the 5 are on separate wheels, and those wheels change independently to make that big date aperture. The date is nicely framed with a high polish frame at 12 o'clock. The branding, you got your Sugess at 9 o'clock. It says moon phase at 3 o'clock. I could have done without the word moon phase. Like, the moon is on the dial, guys. Isn't that enough to tell us that this watch has a moon phase complication? It's enough for me. If I was designing this, I might have put that Sugess logo really small just beneath the moon, right? If I can pick out a little pointer here, I would say I would have put the moon, the Sugess logo right here, just under the Moonphase, and then left this text completely off the dial. The markers, I don't know. I'm on the fence about that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I think we all know how many minutes have elapsed. If there must be numbers there, I think hour indices as opposed to minute indices would probably be a better choice from a design perspective. All that said, the dial is very symmetrical. So I think they tossed the Moonphase word on there to kind of balance out the Sugess brand logo. And to not really have a minute track around the outside is fine for a watch like this. This is going to be a dressier watch anyway. Nobody's going to be using this for precision time telling. Like, this is not a railroad standard by any means. I do like the crown. It's a bit of an onion style crown. It's nice to operate, even for, a big guy like me with big fingers like me. Easy to grab, easy to manual wind. All that is super great. Hacking seconds is nice. The crown is easy to pull out. The aventurine just looks fantastic. Is this the highest quality aventurine in the world? I'm not sure. I haven't had my hands on any other aventurine dial watches, but it definitely evokes the look of the night sky. And I know that's kind of what it's being used for here, and it does the job. Let's go ahead and get this on wrist and see how it looks on this big honking 8-inch gorilla here. Well, everybody, on my 8-inch wrist, I gotta say this wears pretty fantastic. The 41 millimeter diameter, the 14 millimeter thickness does not wear very thickly at all. Like, if you look at it from a side profile, it might look like it's sitting up a little bit high, but in actual wear, practically, it kind of sinks down into your wrist a little bit. It's not sitting up high. This will fit under a cuff without much problem at all. It's just a really classy, nice looking watch. I did a little bit of a manual break-in of the bracelet to get it to curve around the wrist a little bit more. You can see I am at 8 inches. I am on the very last hole on this band here. So this keeper is just flip-flopping with nothing to do. It's redundant. So this keeper will end up going away if I end up wearing this much more than once in a blue moon. Or if I end up keeping it. I don't know. Maybe I give it away to one of you guys. I'm not sure. I've been toying around with the idea of channel memberships, and we could do like a monthly watch giveaway to members or something. I'm not sure how that's going to work or if I'm going to do it, but this would be one of the watches that maybe gets given away. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in. I really like the way this wears. This looks really good on my wrist. When I get this kind of, out of, I don't want to say out of the studio light, but when I get this off camera and really hold it up to my eye, I can understand why people say that the camera does not do aventurine justice. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's so much character. It's different every time you look at it. It's a wonderful look, an absolutely wonderful look that really is difficult to capture on camera. I can't make a case that this is a $10,000 watch for $100, but if you're looking to kind of get some of those feels that you would from a high quality automatic mechanical big date Moonphase timepiece with a, I don't want to say it's an exotic dial because it's becoming more of a well-known material to use for dials, but it sure as heck isn't a standard dial material. This is going to tick a whole lot of boxes for a whole lot of people. $107. I think at the time that I shoot this video, it's like $112 on AliExpress. I think anything under $125, and this is an absolute no-brainer if you're thinking that you want to try something like this. Absolute no-brainer. I got a link to this in the description below. It's an affiliate link. Please use that. It does help the channel. Help support us in any way that you can. If you like these videos, that would be great. Oh man, this is good. We also have some Lume, so let's do a Lume shot. Real world Lume shot from the full sun into my dimly, darkly lit corner of the garage studio, and we see a decent application of some Japanese BGW9, not Swiss, specified as Japanese. That's cool. It glows well. You can tell the time. Markers and hands are there. But the moon and the stars are also loomed, along with that small seconds hand. It's a really cool look when the lights go down. The other Sugess video that I did was on a chronograph using the phenomenal ST2528 movement with the swan neck regulator. And that video went a little wild. That was the one that actually propelled this channel into getting fully monetized on YouTube. So if you like this watch, go check out that other one, because Sugess is producing some incredible value for money here. Oh, and for all you people who are saying, oh, Chinese movement, it's going to be in the bin in like 3 months, it's going to break and be terrible, get out of here. I don't want your comments. We don't want your comments. Seagull is capable of making great movements. They're also capable of having a QC issue now and again and making some movements that aren't so great, just like any manufacturer located anywhere on the planet. There's crappy Swiss movements too. Don't forget that. But for what you're paying here, can you ask for a whole lot more? I don't know. Maybe you can. You tell me. Let's do some final thoughts. I mean, come on. Would you look at that dial? I mean, this is so much watch for the money. It's not even funny. I don't know. I'm looking at it here on my monitor, and it's mesmerizing. It's kind of hard to take my eyes off it. I cannot believe that this watch can be had at this price point. If somebody was wearing this watch and I walked up to them and I said, oh my God, that's super interesting. Can I see what you're wearing? Oh yeah, it's an aventurine dial, Moonphase, big date. This type of finishing and kind of attention to detail with case finishing, the matching band, all the stuff. If you told me that this was a $4,000 or $5,000 watch, I probably wouldn't question you. If you told me it was a $1,000 watch, I would ask you where you got one, because I would want to get one too. This reminds me a lot of kind of the Christopher Ward Moonphase that came out. Was it last year with the aventurine dial? Now, that Moonphase complication is way cooler than this one, but that watch also lacks a date complication of any kind, let alone a big date complication. And when you take into account that this experience can be had for $107, that's, I don't know what you guys are doing over on AliExpress, but the stuff that you're turning out these days between San Martin and Sugess and the Bernie that I recently took a look at, and the other San Martin that I took a look at, and the other Sugess. I mean, like, these brands are absolutely killing it. Don't get me wrong. There's plenty of piles of junk on there. Plenty. And there are plenty of watches that have made it into my personal collection, right? The San Martin. There are plenty of watches that I will probably never wear that I looked at for you guys because it's just not the size for my wrist. And there's other watches that look really good on paper and look really good on person, but I don't know. I'm not gelling with this one so much. I'm thinking about trying this one on some straps to see if I can gel with it a little bit more. But this thing is out of the box gorgeous. And if you're looking for something to wear to any sort of occasion, that's a little bit, little bit dressed up, little bit dressier, something interesting, conversation starter, and you don't have a huge budget, you really should consider this. Again, link down in the description. It is an affiliate link. This is not a sponsored video. I paid my own hard-earned money for this. And at the end of the day, I don't care if you use my affiliate link or not. Just pick it up if you want it, because I don't think you're going to be disappointed. It's just I keep saying the word experience because I feel like that's what this is. The movement decoration, the perlage that you don't usually get at these price points. The fact that it's automatic and not just manual wind makes the whole user experience a little bit more friendly, right? You don't have to wind it all the time. It's doing that for you. 50 meters water resistant. Take that with a grain of salt. I wouldn't do much more than wash my hands in this thing, right? And I would be careful when I wash my hands because it is a push-pull crown. It's not a screw-in crown. And even with some of the kind of, I don't want to say downfalls, but some of the decisions that maybe I would have made differently from a design perspective, this is still really nice. And it still looks really good. The Sugess Moonphase, big date. I forget the reference number. Again, they just named it after the movement anyway. It's nothing creative. I think it's worth your attention. It's at least worth a look. Give a click or do a search. Find it at your favorite vendor or your favorite AliExpress site, whatever it is. Just give it a look. See if you gel with it. Because with these measurements, I can't stop looking at that aventurine dial. It's too good looking. All right, I got to get out of here. I'll see you guys in the next one.